is me, Ruowen Huang. Before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. In this very particular episode, we're going to talk about the make of stalker. The reason we talk about it is because I believe many of you have been following the popular Netflix miniseries, Baby Reindeer, and I myself included. After watching the show, sure enough, there will be a lot of questions raised, like why are people becoming a stalker, like what it is, like to form of that, the cause of it. So I thought I would be here sharing my personal opinion with you. But then again, let me clarify it one more time. I'm not a doctor, not planning to be one as well. I'm simply sharing my personal opinion from a psychic point of view, and also like from what I've seen or studied from my past experience of consultation. So just simply for your reference, may or may not be the answer, but for your reference. Okay, so anyway, let's get into the topic, the cause of the stalking. As many of you, they will refer it to, oh, they must have some mental problem, that's why they have stalking issue. Let's break down to the stalking. The tendency of, like, from the past experience and I observed from my client, I do realize those people who have a tendency of stalking or obsession, I would call it. They obviously develop some kind of obsession toward an object or human or a pattern. Therefore, when they don't know where that boundary is, or as their obsession continue to grow, they will develop a behavior like nearly a stalking. So really, in reality is the reason they create this kind of obsession is simply to make up to the things that they did not feel or don't have in their life, or as their upbringing, they craving for something, or they may crave for some attention, or they crave for some love and tenderness, or they crave for certain pattern of behavior, for example. So it's very likely, in normal daily life, people simply spare a little bit to them, it will then become magnified in their head. So while the person did not intend to have a relationship or whatever it is, in their mind, they already form a relationship or whatever that is that they perceive as something that they want to have. They did not have, they wanted to have, and therefore in their dream or in their mind, I am already creating this relationship with you. Therefore, they become obsessed of that. So usually those people, if you're gonna say, oh, they are lying, they don't know what they are doing, we all know how powerful our mind is. As much as the third party can clearly see that it's not true, in their mind, they may not see that as true, just because of how their mind constantly telling themselves or having a conversation with themselves, like they are already having a relationship with that person or with that object, etc. So in their head, they are not lying. They're simply living in false reality, like they've been carrying for so long and believe it's true. Aside from being stalker, I would say normal one of us all have that tendency too. Just like, even though we are not physically experiencing pain, but our mind will constantly make up a scenario what would possibly happen to us. Therefore, our body are experiencing the same pain. So I would say it's basically the same thing. So if you really want to break down the whole stalker behavior, then you start to understand it all start with some kind of obsession. Obsession of something that I wanted to have or I did not have, or simply to make up or to comfort whatever the inner child that we have, right? If you understand the theory of that and you totally understand that is the main of the stalker, then ugly truth is we are all stalker in some form. I know nobody like to hear that, but we are. The reason of that is, if today is not a person, let's talk about if it is a Korean soap opera that you watch, like you are very fascinating by the storyline, or you're very fascinating by the actor itself, like you really love the actor. Like you and me both know when we're really fascinating of a star, a singer, an actor, an actress, we constantly look into like studying them, or we like to know what day they were born, we like to know what they like to eat, we like to know what they like to do, we like to know where they like to go, but aside from people, because a lot of time people believing stalker behaviors only apply to the human, but the reality is it's all about obsession, right? So if you understand the obsession, you'll realize even the story, once you watch one soap opera, it was so good, and you went to read all kind of book, the novel, all different kind of version, or etc. Those kind of obsession is all some form of behavior of the stalker. It's just the lucky thing is most of us would try to know what the boundary is, right? So we would know, try not to disturb other people's lives, try not to make a scene, try not to make, making other people feeling uncomfortable. But the reality is when you have that kind of obsession, that you really, really, really want to have whatever relationship you have with somebody, people would fly around the world for it. People would, go to every single concert of certain singer. People would do anything like that. People would even dream about having a conversation, having a coffee with that particular celebrity, etc. Those kind of behavior, they all are the forming of a stalker. But as I say, luckily most of us know how to control ourselves. But there are few bunch who simply too obsessed with something. It's no different from that you really want to eat chocolate every day. That is also a form of the obsession as well. So anyway, to answer some of your questions, wondering why would people become a stalker, the ugly truth is we are all stalker in some form. May tour people or not tour the people, but then the reality is when we are obsessed with something, let's most likely try to make up with the things that we wish to have but did not have, or we craving. I would say from my past experiencing, then again I might be wrong, right? From my past experiencing, people are always try to get a sense of something that they not have as their upbringing, and then obviously they can get some kind of comfort, whether it's actual comfort or their dreaming comfort, by continuous pursuing such a behavior, even though in their mind they know it may not be right, they will continue doing that. And as we all know, when the human continue doing some behavior that's not right, they will tend to justify their behavior and give themselves proper reason or excuse to make reasonable justification to it. So that's also why they were constantly looking for the sign that may or may not exist to make them feel less guilty. So anyway, I hope this episode, not to clear your mind, but give you a better understanding that why would people do that. There are patterns to it. The pattern is they have obsession. Why do they have obsession? It's mostly because they are craving or eager or wanting something like they obviously lack of in their life. So therefore, they are having certain behavior, whether it's controllable or not controllable. As I say, luckily, most of people know how to control ourselves by not causing discomfort or inconveniencing other people, or not to make a scene. But when the obsession become kind of real, remember in their head, but it is still real to them, they may pass that bar that simply do not know where the boundary is. So hope that answered your question. Again, if you like what I'm doing, follow, share, and like. See you guys next time. Bye now.